There's something sacred about walking into a hotel lobby. The lights, the scent, the smell, the smile from the front desk agent. For some, it's a quick business trip. For others, it's a long-awaited vacation. But for many, too many, it's a safe space. A place where the pain can escape that they can't talk about with their friends and family. As someone who travels for business, photography, consulting, speaking, you name it, I'm in the air and in the hotels. I can tell you firsthand. Sometimes I check in and I'm carrying more with me than just luggage. Sometimes I'm not just arriving at a destination. I'm arriving with a heavy heart. Grief, stress, exhaustion, pain, everything that I poured out on the stage while I was speaking, everything that I delivered to that client for that photography experience, everything that I left in that boardroom, educating people on how to be better people, how to be better leaders, how to be more hospitable. It's the smallest things. A warm smile, a kind gesture, someone remembering my name. That reminded me I'm not invisible. And let me just tell you, I didn't get into hospitality by accident. No, this is something that has been in me my whole life. I've always wanted to go the extra mile to help other people to be better, to feel better, to experience a better life. I worked in the hotel, hospitality, gaming industry for nearly a decade. VIP hosting, guest services, event support, front lines, you name it, I was there. And I even learned more about myself then than I have in any other industry. I learned something early on that most leaders often forget. Your clients are your business. Your clients are the business. The business that keeps you employed. The business that keeps the wheels going. Because let's be honest. Without those clients, you wouldn't be where you are today. If those clients just all decided to stop coming, you would have no need to be where you are. The doors would shut and you would be out of a role, out of this title that you worked so hard to build. The clients are not a problem you manage. They are the purpose you serve. And hospitality isn't the role of just one department. It's a culture. It's a mindset. It's an experience. You don't build loyal guests with points. You build them with presence. When was the last time your clients felt like you valued their presence? I've checked into hotels in the middle of personal loss, and I've been on the road after burying family member after family member. After crying in the airport bathroom or on the plane with, the shawl over my head and hoping no one heard my sniffles. After delivering a keynote, smiling on stage and then collapsing in silence behind the curtain. Let me tell you something. There is nothing more powerful than hearing someone says, "I see you," without saying, "I see you." Hey, Mrs. Malbrough, welcome back. Would you like your favorite tea sent up to your room again? Or the executive lounge closes in 30 minutes. Don't forget to grab a bite to eat. How was your flight? Welcome back. Those tiny gestures, they've meant the world to me. And I want you to understand just how deeply your team impacts the lives of strangers and sometimes people they may or may not see again without ever knowing their full story. And I get it. It's not their job to know everyone's story. But the places that I go, they take the time to know me. They take the time to learn about me. How are you doing? What are you doing in town? Is there anything we can do to make your stay better? They will text me and say, "Hey, is everything okay? Once I'm checked in and settled, can we bring up extra pillows because we know you have a bad back?" Little things. But the places, again, that I stay, they take the time to get to know about me. Now, I'm not saying that this is for everyone, but for the people that understand that hospitality is an experience, they'll get it. Now, let's talk about what's going on in the industry. Somewhere along the line, We started trading connections for checklists. Too many, far too many hotels are training on the process, but not the purpose. We're living in a computer-based training era, training teams that are dealing with humans. And I know because I've experienced this on both ends. The amazing and the absolute terrible. The front desk agent who won't look up. The team member that shrugs off a request. The cold energy, the rush tone, the eye roll that they thought I didn't see. Those moments stay with people. And they're not small. They're branding. They're branding you when you're not in the room. They're branding your team and your company when you're not there to defend yourself. When someone walks into your hotel, they're not just judging the lobby. They're absorbing the culture. How your staff speaks to each other, whether they go the extra mile or forget the client is standing there. If the leadership empowers their team or if they're just monitoring them for numbers. Because here's the truth. Your guest experience will never, ever rise above your team's experience. And if your team isn't led with empathy, trained with excellence, and reminded of their power, they will, hear me when I say this, they will burn out. They will disengage, and they will unintentionally push your best guest to the next property away from you and your brand. So here's what I know for sure. Hospitality isn't dead. Leadership isn't distracted. And I can help with all of that. I help companies bring back what their brand has forgotten. Not just strategy, not just soft skills, but legacy level leadership. That means the front desk agents feel empowered to not just do their job, but to go the extra mile and make it an experience for their clients, because it's more than just a job. It's an experience that they're getting both from you and the client. Housekeepers that understand their role in brand elevation. Managers that don't just schedule shifts, but build morale. And executing the leadership teams and the executive leaders that understand you don't just lead the business, you lead the brand from the inside out. And I've seen it all. And I'll never forget this one trip where I was exhausted. My flight was delayed. My luggage was lost. I was over it, and I hadn't eaten in hours. As I walked into the hotel, barely holding it all together, a staff member said, "Welcome back, Mrs. Malbrough. We've already got your room ready. Would you like your snacks sent up while you unpack? Or would you like to take them with you?" It stopped me in my tracks for a minute. Not because it was extravagant, but because it was intentional. Far too many places have forgotten what that feels like, what that looks like, and how to deliver that to their staff. That's leadership. That's brand awareness. That is the kind of training that I teach. Because if your team isn't doing that, it's not their fault. It's yours. The worst mistake a hotel leader can make is waiting until that Google review tells you there's a problem. But by then you've already lost the trust. You've already lost the revenue. And if you get them to come back, the experience will never be the same. But if you're ready to shift the culture, elevate your team, and bring hospitality back to the forefront, I can help. Not with one-day prep talks, but with strategy, systems, and the structure that can build retention, revenue, and results. Because your team is already your brand, and they know it. If you treat them like their employees, they will treat your guests like they're just numbers. And if you are a decision maker in the hospitality industry, then this is your moment to rebuild, to retain, and to lead like you mean it. I invite you to have a real conversation with me. Let's talk about what's really happening at your front desk, in your reviews, and in your guest feedback, and more importantly, inside your team. Visit AngeliaMalbrough.com to book your free consultation today, because you're not just building a hotel, you're building a reputation. And I can help you to build one that keeps guests coming back time after time after time again to that safe, sacred space that they love so dearly. And I'll see you next week.